Hi. So I'm going to explain to you how to use this spreadsheet here. We're going to break this into a couple of sections. So the whole idea of this is to score influencers, primarily to find out where you fit on the ladder and where the influencer fits on the ladder. So if you picture these were like rungs in a ladder, we have the super influencers up here. Let's say if we were looking for passive income, it would be Pat Flynn. Okay, so he'd be right up there. He'd have like over like 500,000 views on his page, probably 1,000,000 views on his page. He's right up here. And then let's say we might be around here. Okay, and then there might be influencers below us. We'll put them in a 0. Okay, and they'll score 0 on this spreadsheet. We kind of want to ignore them. And what we kind of want to do is start moving our way up. So if there was an influencer here, let's say mid-tier influencer, we call that. Mid-tier influencer. Okay, so what we want to do is try and engage with this person so that we can move up here. Okay, and then when you engage with that person, you're getting closer, and then the idea is you keep on moving up till Pat Flynn is just a step away from you. Let's say he's in your niche or niche that you're looking to go after. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking to do. The mistake that a lot of people make is they do a search, they'll get Pat Flynn, okay, but they're like down here. Okay, and then what they do is they try and engage with Pat Flynn, but you see all of this? This is just risk to Pat Flynn. So there's no benefit in Pat engaging with you because there's a risk you could be a fly-by-night person. He doesn't know who you are. He doesn't know anybody you've dealt with. So this is kind of where most people start on the influencer marketing. And that's what we're going to look at today. So the whole idea of this spreadsheet here is we're going to rate your kind of top person, your top search in the influencer. That's up here, okay? Then we're going to create a baseline score. So that's your score, okay? That's you in here. Okay, and then in that post, we're going to, we explained a little bit about how you find similar influencers, and we're going to look at trying to find somebody around here, okay, or even around here. So the idea is, let's say you get up to this level, and then you build a relationship with one person here. Then you can say, you can see that X deals with Y influencer a lot. So you might go, hey Y, I've just interviewed X. Would you be interested in doing a guest post or a podcast interview? They say, that's great. Then you go to Z and you go, hey Z, X and Y I've just dealt with. Would you be interested in talking with this? And they say, sure, because I know X and I know Y, so I know we're on the similar kind of path. But one of these people will be a little bit up here. Okay? So then you get Z. Then you can use that to link over to Z plus 1. Okay? And Z2. And Z3. And like that, one of these will be up here. Okay? And then you can keep on moving across. So anyway, let's have a quick look. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So so that's the kind of the ladder. We're going to talk about the anatomy of the document, and then we're going to talk about how to use the doc. Okay. So basically, we have 4 sections here. So this video is sitting here. The Chrome plugin we're going to use to rate influencers is set here, and the blog explaining a little more about influencer engagement is here. Okay. Then we have rate your market leader. So this is the person that is kind of number 1 in your field that you're looking to target. Then you're going to rate yourself in that, and that's really just to bring you a little bit down to earth and to make you realize how far that person is away from you, because if you're starting out, they are miles away from you, and there's no point spending any time trying to engage with those people. And then the third one is where you fill out all the influencers from your search. Okay, so that's kind of the anatomy of the document. Okay. Then how you use the document. So we're going to do that in some real world scenarios. So Okay, so let's say we're going to look for passive income. Let's say I'm doing something around the passive income space, passive income. Okay, so I know Pat is probably going to pop up here. Real passive income. Let's open that up. Money matters. Let's get passive income, Pat Flynn. Okay, so let's say Pat comes up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install this plugin here. Okay, which I've already installed, which is called SimilarWeb, and that's what it looks like up there on the right hand corner. So once that's installed, then when Pat's site comes up, I'm going to click on that and it's going to tell me he's doing about 597,000 uniques, okay, or estimated traffic. So I don't know what what's a makeup of. Again, these are just guesstimates we're looking for. So we type in 197 or 597 there. Subscore, the way I work it is I multiply it by 20%. So I get 20% of their traffic, and I reckon as a guesstimation that's what their subscribers should be. It could be more, it could be less. I know with Pat it's way more than that. It's like triple times that. But it just kind of gives you a bit of an idea, because the traffic, their audience, is actually what you're looking to get at. Okay. Then to get a score, to get Pat's score, I add this and this to get this. So you can see here, add G8, G8, G8 and F8. So I add these two cells together and that gives me a score. Now this is what I'm going to base. So let's say the number one influencer in your space, that's what you're going to use as your baseline. That's kind of your 100%, okay? So everything gets compared to this score, 717. Now, maybe sometimes you might have an influencer that is more prevalent on Twitter or on social media or something like that. So you can add in numbers there. Again, these are just general figures. You're just looking to see is somebody way out of your system or is somebody pretty close to you. Then we put in Bullet. So Bullet, let's say in Ireland, gets about 13,000 uniques. We have about 8,000 subs, okay? We multiply that by 20%, or sorry, we add those two together. That gives us a score of 21. Now what we do here is we divide Pat's score into our score to find out what a percentage our score is of Pat's. So we are just about 3%. So we are 3% of the influence for Pat. So if I was to go back to this document, that puts us and Pat like miles away. Okay? Like right down here. So there is no way Pat's going to deal with us. And I know that because I've emailed him. So what we're going to do then is, let's say we might look at Pat's podcast. So in the blog post, if you've been shared, if this spreadsheet has come to you, just check out our blog post here and it explains how you can find people who are a little further down the ladder from you. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to look for people who've Pat has interviewed, okay? And if that brings them around here, then we look for people they've interviewed. And if that's still too high, then we look for people they've interviewed. Okay? And then you leverage, you get one or two of these guys, you leverage them to go back up and back up. So we go in reverse. We go this way down, and then we go that way back up to get to Pat. Okay? Because Pat has probably about 400,000 people on his email list. And you want to do a promotion out to that email list so you can get some of that 300,000 over onto your email list. So let's have a look. So we put in that score for Pat. We've put in our own so we know where our baseline is. Okay, and I've just added that back down here. So let's try and have a look at some of the people that have podcasted Pat. Nicole Walters. So let's have a look at this. So there's her TV show. Let's open that up. So this is exactly what I do now. So I put that in there, Nicole Walters. I'll do this kind of a bit rough and ready so that we're can move fast through this. Put in her where Pat podcast. So, and then what would I do here? I'm going to check her site traffic. 5.5k. So SimilarWeb kind of checks everything from 5k up. If they're coming up as a 0 on this, you don't want to deal with them because their traffic is too low for you. So she's had quite a bit of traffic and then it's dropped quite a bit down. So maybe there's been a change on their site. But she was interviewed by Pat. So I'm going to put her down as 5.5 here. It's going to guess her subs 20%, remember that? So it's going to multiply the traffic number by 20%, 1.1 thousand, gives it a score of 6.6 and makes her 90.92% of Pat's score. But then I look at these two and I go, well, she's in the same kind of space as me. Okay. Now, even though she's a grade down, there's something gone a little funny with her traffic there. So if we look at that again, she's been interviewed by Pat, so there's some relationship there. So if I put that in at, let's say, 140,000, 140, that changes up to 23. Okay, Pat being 100%. Okay, so this score, that's her on a level to that. So I'm kind of happy with that, so I'm going to leave Nicole in there. She has a relationship with Pat that I could probably leverage later on. So let's, you could also look at their social media following. So we'll just have a look at Twitter and Facebook. Okay, so 7,000 followers. Okay, so she seems pretty engaged. So something's definitely happened to her site traffic. So 7.5k. So I put that in here. 7k. We're just looking for rough numbers. And I'd say on Facebook she's probably pretty well engaged. So she's done a lot of good stuff here. Wow, 137,000 like this. Okay, so there we go. So this is the platform she works on. That's why she was interviewed with Pat. Values only. Okay, so we're just looking for K numbers. So the K is for 100k. So 7k in Twitter and 131k. Okay, so let's say that was still too high for you. So let's put that in at 150. So we still think, oh God, that's a little high. That's a little high. I want someone in around the 10 space. Now I'd actually just kind of keep it up like that. Group this into three similar groups, like medium influencer, low influencer, and forget about influencer. Anyone who comes up with a 0, forget about them. You're going to be sitting at around the 0, okay? So anyone low or medium is good. And you want to hit around 30 people. You don't want to go any more because you want to build up a nice relationship with these people. You don't want to be too spammy. So if everybody on Pat's list was too big, then what we'd go is we'd go to Nicole's list and we'd have a look and see, does Nicole do any interviews? Nicole Walters. Legend Up Part 2, making your business official. Got an idea? So there's not a lot of Facebook stuff or not a lot of blogging stuff going on here. It's really just her engagement. So let's keep on going down through Pat. Let's go back up to the blog posts. Whoa. Mastermind, meeting mastermind members in the green room. Humble beginning. Let's see if we've got any more interviews here. Interview, there we go. So if I actually do interview, Okay, Joe and Beck, the 4 blades. Now remember, these all still need to be in your niche. There's no point talking to somebody who's outside it. So let's have a look here. Okay, so they are in the food niche. So they're completely out of our niche. But again, let's have a look and see how we would rate them. So I'd take this, I'd drop it in here. So industry looks like she's in small business, kind of in the wellness space, and food. Okay, so they're completely out. Bad podcast. Okay, let's have a look at the traffic on this. So here we go. See, no traffic coming up there. So again, I wouldn't be too focused on this. Let's have a look at the Facebook and probably YouTube if they're doing anything out here. So I put that score as 0. That is pretty much going to give us a 0 score course there. So 25,000. 25,000. Yeah, here we go. 400 subscribers. That's not great. 25,000. So we'll put that there. Okay, so let's see, can we get one more? We'll try one more. Interview, affiliate marketing. Just sell them Ugmonk. Okay. So listen to the story of Jess Sheldon built Ugmonk and launched a Kickstarter campaign that earned almost $500,000. So this is going to get a lot of traffic because it is a shopping site. But let's say it was your niche. Again, 120K. Okay, so that's kind of a bit of a same number as above as Nicole. So we put that in there. Pat and close and Kickstarter. Okay, but they're still probably all around launching your business, so there could work something there. Okay, and that's pretty much how I do it, and I fill that out, and then what I do is I then group them into people that are either completely out of my network. I wouldn't even bother putting them. The minute I'd see they were in the food network, I wouldn't bother putting them in if my focus was on side businesses. But they still might have started as a side business. So this guy on the closed site, he started as a side business. Launch Kickstarter campaign. Okay, so pretty much all Kickstarter campaigns are side businesses. And remember, Pat focuses on side businesses. So all of his kind of interviews are all going to be about people who've kind of started out because that's his audience. Okay, so I hope that helps. I hope it explains it pretty well. You're only going to want to hit around 30 people and you want to slowly engage with them. You don't want to ask them to do anything up front. You just send them a mail and say, hey, I love what you're doing. Follow what they're doing, engage with them online, and then slowly build up a relationship with them. Okay, and then leverage one to move your way up that ladder. Okay, you're not going to do it overnight. If you try and do Pat Flynn on day one, you're going to get shot down. So try and build up a relationship and work your way up to the top. And it's a great, genuine way to market. So I hope that spreadsheet helps to give you some clarity as to who the top guy is or woman, what their score is, where you are, what your score is relative to them. And then you can start bringing some tangible numbers to their influencer rating. But again, remember, these are just kind of guesstimations. So they might be using a different platform. But at least you know they're still an influencer. Okay, so I hope that helps. Thanks very much.